Welcome again in our series of lectures where we engage you, we probe your minds to think differently. This second lecture will be based or be directed on how to adapt as a communicator. In our previous lecture, or in our first lecture, we defined what communication is and what it is not, and the role it plays in your personal success in life. And I also defined what success is. I told you success is not necessarily having large quantities of money. Success, I said, is the ability to understand who you are, to know who you are really, what talents that God gave you to come and use to help mankind, and the ability to understand or to find that talent or to discover that talent, and then finally to use that talent to help other people. And for you to do that, you must master communication. I told you what it is, that it came from Latin and then evolved into French, and it went down to English language. So communist or communicare by Latin people, and then the French coined it communication, and then the English took it up and called it communication. So that's the history of this word called communication. And so for you to do well in life, you must master communication. And secondly, you need to be able to collaborate. No man is an island. It takes two to tango. You can't dance tango alone. You must have a partner. So is success. You can't succeed just on your own. And then finally, I told you that you also need to create. So you must communicate, collaborate to create. These, for me, are the rules. These are the fundamentals. You cannot attain success if you don't have these three components inside it. You must. And that's why I'm focusing on them. And so today, in our second lecture series, we're going deep down again into communication. How to adapt your communication to suit the person you're speaking to or suit the people you're speaking to. And to adapt, you must first know who you are speaking to. You must. Because if you don't know him or her, you are going to speak in the air for just nothing. You must understand who you are and who they are. First, if you want to speak to somebody, you try as much as possible to get a lot of information. Who is this person I'm going to speak to? His grades. What I mean is his level of understanding. Is he a market woman? Is he a bank manager? Is he a director of a company? Does he work in a factory? Is he a teacher? Is he a professor? Medical doctor? You need to understand where he or she is, his level in the society, in order to adapt the language, your language, to suit him. Because the way you speak to a market woman will not be the way you are going to speak to a professor. You don't use the same language, not the same level of language. Okay? So that's number one. The ability to adapt to the person or persons you are addressing is the first key. You must meet them where they are. You must. Very, very important. Second, in order to adapt to the person and get something from him or her, because the essence of communications is to get favors, to elicit favor from the other person. And for that person to open up to you, you must get or must reach him where he is. You must get to him. And the next thing to do is to mirror the person. What do I call mirror? Or what do I term as mirroring? Mirroring is the ability to smartly, you must be smart, to smartly copy the mannerisms of this person. For example, if I'm speaking to you, for example, I'm holding my two fingers like this, two hands like this, okay? If you're listening to me and I see you do this while you're talking to me, you are opening up something in my brain. I say, hey, this guy is more like me. He behaves like me. That means I need to connect with him. If I do this way, somehow, as we are speaking, you should also try to do this. Now that's what we call mirroring. Try to behave, copy the gestures and mannerisms of the person listening to you. This will open up a line between you and him. There will be an emotional connection between you and him. And that person will see you as a friend and not a foe, as somebody who he can deal with. That's the idea. So if you want to make somebody do something for you, you need to consciously and unconsciously mirror him or her. That's another one. And the third one today I'm going to talk about is the usefulness of emotion. Because we have discovered over time that people take decisions or reach decisions based on their emotional states. While you're talking to me or while you're listening to me, you would listen to me based on what you are thinking already and what happened to you maybe a day or even a few minutes before this video you're watching now. All these things play a role. The way you feel stays longer in a person's head more than the words used in describing the event itself. In fact, a friend of mine said once that students, when a teacher teaches some students or few students or one or two students, if you go back to ask these students 2 weeks after or a month after what the teacher said, they would have forgotten about 70% of what the teacher said 2 weeks ago or 1 month ago. But even if it is 5 years after you ask the same students how they felt when the teacher was teaching them, they would vividly understand and remember how they felt when the teacher was talking to them. People do not forget how they felt in a particular occasion. They can forget everything you have said, but they will never forget how they felt. What am I trying to say here? It is that if the emotional side of the man or woman you're speaking to is triggered on by your speech, that man or woman will never forget how you made them feel. They would have forgotten everything you said, but they would not forget how you made them feel. So adaptation is the number 2 key if you want to become an effective speaker. In our next series, we will now serve you the breakfast of champions. How to become an effective speaker. What do you need to do to delve into that realm of people who use their words to get what they want? That's the key. That's the key. The words are weapons. Use them wisely. Until next time, please keep shooting for the moon, because somehow if you miss the moon, you'd certainly land among the stars. Keep speaking up. Thank you.